Okay, so let's do this worksheet, the other part. Here you need to find the LCD, right, to solve the rational equation, right? So the LCD, you need to multiply here. If you look at that, if you want to find common denominator, you will need to multiply here by x, and you will need to multiply here by x. So you need to multiply by x, all of them, to get x squared. So the LCD here is x squared, right? So that means you need to multiply both sides of the equation by x squared. So this is x squared in both sides. That means this times this first expression, that's just 1. Actually, it's x, right? It's x. And then you multiply the LCD times this expression here. So that's just going to give you 1 plus. And if you do that LCD times this expression, you get 3x, right? Because x squared times 3 over x, that cancels out to 3x. Okay, that's how I get those values. Now you solve the equation, you subtract negative 3x in both sides, you get negative 2x equals 1, divide by negative 2, x equals negative 1/2. That's it. Okay, that's how you do that. This one, same thing, right? I need to find the LCD. So I need to make my denominators the same. How I make my denominators the same? I need to multiply by m here. So that means that this will be 3m squared. And then I need to multiply here by 3. So I can have this 3m squared. So I can have all of them the same, right? That's the goal. So now I need to multiply by that 3m squared, because I know right now that the LCD is 3m squared. So you multiply by that, right? So this is 3m squared. So that's going to be this expression times this, right? So that's 2m squared times 3m squared. This cancels and you get 6 minus. Now you multiply this and this, right? So that's going to be negative. And basically you cancel the 3's. Well, you have this expression, negative 3, 1 over m times 3m squared. So the 3's cancels. Well, you have the negative here, and m squared over m is just m, right? So this is m. And then the last one is just cancel everything, right? So you just get 1 on the top, right? This and that, right? So now you solve for x, or m in this case, right? So this is negative 6 in both sides. Negative m equals negative 6, right? And then actually negative 5 here. And then you divide by negative 1. So you get m equals 5. Okay? That's how you do that. Next problem. You need to make the same denominator. Again, the same logic, right? I need to make them all look the same. So I have 6k squared. I need to multiply here by 3 to get 6k squared. And I need to multiply here by k to make 6k squared. So the LCD is 6k squared. I need to multiply everything by 6k squared. So if I multiply everything by 6k squared, I get k minus 3 equals 5. I add 3 in both sides and I get 8, right? Basically, I did this times this. So 6k squared over 6k. This cancels and you get k to the first power. So that's this one right here, right? Then you do this times the middle term, right? So you get negative 1 over 2k squared times 6k squared. The k squared cancel with this. 6 divided by 2 is 3, but you have the negative, right, on the front. So that's the negative 3 that I get from here. And now I need to multiply this 6k squared times this. So this is 5, 6k squared times 6k squared. It's 5, right? So now, once you solve for that, you need to solve for k, right? So you need to add 3 in both sides. So that's 8. That's it. That's the answer. So hopefully you can review this problem many times, and then after that you can get it, how to solve it. Now 4, I'm lucky. I have the same denominator, so there's no LCD. All the LCD is just 3m plus 7, right? So multiply everything by 3m plus 7. So you get 3r minus 15 plus 5 equals r plus 7, right? And then we get 3r minus 10 equals r plus 7, right? And then subtract negative r in both sides. And then you can add 10 in both sides if you want, multi-step, right? So this is 2r, this cancels out, you get cancel 17 and you divide by 2. And that's the answer, right? R equals 17 over 2. Again, the logic was just find the common denominator. Since these are the same, I already know what's the LCD, R plus 7, right? LCD, R plus 7. So that means I need to multiply everything by R plus 7. So if you think about it, this cancels with that. So that's just the top, right? The top right here. So that's right here. And then you multiply this outside times this. So that cancels out and you get just 5, right? And then if you multiply 1 times anything, is the same thing, r plus 7, right? And then you solve the equation like you will normally do. Number 5. Number 5, I need to find common denominator here because these are not the same, right? These are not the same. So that means I need to multiply, I need to factor this out to find out if maybe, to find out how this breaks out. And after that, I can multiply this number by any constant, right? So basically you need to do the GCF of 2b plus 2. What is the GCF? Well, 2b plus 1. That's the GCF. So this is 1 over 2b plus 1 minus 2b plus 16. Now, this is b plus 1. So that means if I need to find common denominator between these two, I need to multiply this by 2, right? So the common denominator or the LCD here will be 2b plus 1. That means I need to multiply everything by 2b plus 1, right? So you do the same thing that we were doing before. This entire thing times this. Well, that's going to be the same thing. This is going to be 2b plus 1. Then you do this. This times this. That's going to be 1, right? That cancels out entirely. Minus, now you think about this. This and this cancel, right? So you have the 2 left over. So basically you have 2 times 2b plus 16. Now, to emphasize that I need to multiply that sign twice, I'm going to put a bracket here, okay? And now you solve. So this is 2b plus 2 equals 1 minus, well, you need to distribute this, right? Distributive property. This times this, that's 4b. And then 2 times 16, that's 32. But it's going to be negative 32, right? Because of the sign outside. So you combine like terms, 2b plus 2 equals, what is this thing? Negative 31, right? Negative 31 minus 4b. Now you combine like terms one more time, 4b in both sides, right? Adding 4b in both sides, and then we subtract negative 2b in both sides. And negative 2 in both sides, and negative 2b, negative 2. So this is going to be 6b, this cancels, you get negative 33, this goes away, and you divide by 6 here. So this is b equals negative 33 over 6. You need to simplify 33, that's 3 times 11, and then this is 3 times 2, that's 6. This cancels out, and you get negative 11 over 2. That's the answer. That's all you got to do for the equations. I think you can get this stuff, okay? Let's see if there's something more difficult. I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna do 6 and 7 down on the bottom because I have the answer. So then after that, you can see right away if I did it right or wrong or whatever. Okay. So here I need to find common denominator. So I'm lucky because these two are the same already, but I need to find out what this guy simplifies to, right? So I need to do the GCF. So the GCF is n plus 3. Okay, that's the GCF. So meaning that if I want to get exactly the same denominators for all of them, then I need to multiply here by n, and I need to multiply here by n, right? So that means the GCF is n times n plus 3. So I need to multiply everything, right? everything by n plus, n plus 3. So if you do that, this times this, right? So that's going to be just n. And then you do, again, the GCF times the middle term. So that's going to be just n plus 1, because these are equivalent with this, okay? And then we have to do this, the GCF times this one right here, right? So that's going to be just 7n, right? Because n plus 3 cancels, so you have 7n. So you combine like terms at this point. This is 2n plus 1 equals 7n. Then you subtract negative 2n in both sides. This is going to be 1. This is going to be 5n, divide by 5, and that's your answer. N equals 1/5. Okay, that's the answer. And you can check to see if extraneous solution give you division by 0, but we don't have that situation, so we're good, right? 7. I need to find the LCD. Again, I need to make the denominators the same. So you need to see what's going on here, right? So the GCF here will be what? Well, that will be n plus 7, right? So now you can see clearly what you're missing here. So you're missing here an n, and here you're missing an n plus 7, right? To have all the same denominator. But I don't need to do that here. I just need to multiply that by the LCD, right? Because once I know what's the LCD, I don't need to worry about that. So I just need to multiply everything by n plus 7. So that's going to be what's left over. It's remember, you're doing this times this times this times that, right? I hope you get the pattern at this point. So if you do the first term by the GCF, we get n plus n minus 1. This is equal to, you do the GCF n times n plus 7. So basically we're doing this, right? This times this, right? And if you do that, you get n plus 7. And then if you do this and this, which they're exactly the same, then you get 1. So you just do that, right? So this is n squared minus n equals n plus 7, or you combine like terms. So this is n plus 8, right? So now you need to bring everything to the left side. Negative n, negative 8, negative n, negative 8. Why? Because you have a quadratic equation, right? This is n to the second power. That's the reason we need to do that. So this simplifies, so you get n squared minus 2n minus 8. And hopefully we have an answer for this problem, right? So we need to factor this out. So this is going to be n, and the signs are going to be different because this sign tells me that the signs are going to be different. So this is going to be minus and plus. And I need two numbers. When I multiply, they give me 8. And when I combine, give me 2. So that's going to be 4 and 2. Okay. So that works out. So the answer for this problem is n minus 4 equals to 0. N plus 2 equals to 0. And you solve for n. So this is going to be plus 4 in both sides. N equals 4. And this is negative 2 in both sides. N equals negative 2. And that's your answers, right? So 4 and negative 2. And indeed, you have the same thing here. If you plug those values in the denominator, you don't have undefined situation. Therefore, both answers are the solutions, because sometimes you might have undefined. Anything that makes this undefined or division by 0, then this is undefined. Therefore, you will have no solution in that situation, right? But we're not encountering any situation like that. Therefore, that's the answer. Okay. So in the test, I will not give you anything that complicated, right? So you just need to know what you're doing, basically, right? So here I need to find the GCF or common denominator, right? First of all, so here I need to find the GCF to see what's going on with this binomial, right? So let's see. So GCF is b squared minus b. Therefore, this is b minus 1 if you factor the GCF. That means this is the same as saying b minus 1. So what I'm missing here in this term to have all the denominators the same, b minus 1, and here b. Yeah? So you do that. So I need to multiply everything by the GCF, which is b minus 1. So again, this times that, this times that, this times that, right? One at a time. So we get b for the left side. Then we get b minus 5, b minus 1 here. And then here, these cancel entirely, right, with this guy. So we get b squared minus 4b minus 21. Again, I'm putting the bracket because I need to distribute that sign 3 times to the terms that they inside this bracket, right? So now if we do this, we get b. Here I need to do FOIL. So this is going to be b squared minus b minus 5b plus 5. And then this is going to be negative b squared plus 4b plus 21. Solve for that. So b equals b squared, combine like terms, negative 6b plus 5 minus b squared plus 4b plus 21. I'm doing step by step. I can do this much faster, but I'm just doing for everybody that don't understand. So this cancels with this. So this cancels with, well, not cancels, but I mean, you combine like terms, right? This and that, that's going to be negative 2b. And then you combine like terms, this and this, that's going to be 26. And this is going to be b. So you need to add 2b in both sides, right? To put the variables together. So this is 3b equals 26. And then you divide by 3, right? And you get b equals 26 over 3. And indeed, that's the answer, right? Please make sure you practice this. This is not difficult. You just need to practice, okay? If it's difficult, watch this many times and you will get it. Okay, here. I don't need to worry about what's common denominator because they already told there's b minus 3, they're exactly the same. And this one, there's nothing there. So I know that the common denominator or the LCD is what? b minus 3. Multiply everything by b minus 3 and you're done basically. So this is going to be b squared plus 5b minus 14 equals 1 plus b minus 3. Now, what you need to do is you need to put the variables with the variables together, right? So b squared, I need to, first of all, I'm going to combine the 1 and the 3 here. So this is 4 plus b, not 4, I'm sorry. You have the 1 and the negative 3, so that's going to be negative 2. So I can say this is b minus 2, and this is b squared plus 5b minus 14. Now, you need to subtract negative b and add 2. Why? Because you have a quadratic equation here, right? So we need to do negative b here and plus 2. So this cancels. This is 0 equals b squared plus 4b minus 12, right? And we need to factor b and b. That sign is negative. That means that the signs are going to be different. And then 2 numbers, right? When you multiply, give you 12, 6 and 2. b equals negative 6, b equals 2. That's the answer, right? You need to set up each parenthesis equal to 0. I assume that you know that, right? Okay. So that's what you need to do. And you solve for b and you get negative 6 and 2. You have to always check if if any of these answers doesn't get the fraction undefined. Otherwise, you will have no solution, right? Now 10. And that's the last one. What is common denominator here? Well, I need to find it, right? Well, I have a plus 5. I don't have nothing. I don't need to worry about that one. I just need to worry about this one. So I need to find GCF. GCF of this guy, right? So GCF of a squared plus 5a. What is that? So if you do that, you get a. That's the common factor between those two. And then this is a plus 5. So that's a common denominator. That means I need to multiply everything but that a times a plus 5. Why? Because if you multiply that a plus 5 times a, you will get this guy. So that means that's the same denominator. And if you multiply this 1 over that, you get the same denominator. So that's the GCF. You need to multiply that by that number. So you multiply everything by a plus 5. Okay, you do that. You get 2 on the left side. This is a plus 5. And then you get plus, well, this cancels out with that. And then you get just a minus 2. Now you need to solve for this. So this is 2 equals a squared plus 5a using distributive property. I hope you know how to do that. This is a squared and this is negative 2a. And I need to combine like terms now. 2 equals 2a squared plus 5a. Well, I can combine these two together too, right? So this and this, that's going to be 3a. So I need to subtract negative 2 in both sides because I have a quadratic equation again, right? So this is 0 equals 2a squared plus 3a minus 2. Now I need to factor, right? I'm going to use the AC method. So I'm going to multiply this times this, right? So this is 0 equals a squared plus 3a minus 4. Factor. A, this sign means they're going to be different. The signs, right? So this is minus, actually plus and a minus. So that's going to be 4 and 1. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. And then if you combine these two together, you get 4a and you get negative a. So that's going to be 3a, which is the term that you have in the middle. And 8 times a, it's a squared. So you're good. Now, remember, because we make the problem easier in the beginning, right? We need to, we multiply by 2. So remember, you need to divide by 2. So this is going to be a plus 2. And this is going to be 2a minus 1. And if you solve for a, you get a equals negative 2, a equals 1/2. You remember, you need to set up this equals to 0 and you solve for a, right? So let me show you how to do that one. A plus 2 equals 0, negative 2 in both sides. A equals negative 2. And then that's the answer that I get the first time, right? And then the other one was 1/2, right? And you do the same for the other one, right? Not big deal, this thing. So this set it equal to that. So this is 2a minus 1 equals to 0. Add 1 in both sides. 2a equals 1. Divide by 2. You get 1/2. But you have to check if that doesn't make the denominator undefined, right? Otherwise, you will have no solution. But that doesn't affect that. And that's the answer for this problem. Okay? That's how you do these equations. Okay, and the other part, I will record the simplified expressions. But remember, in the test, I'm going to put just 2 of that. Okay? Thank you and have a nice day.